I auditioned for a musical one time and I got in and I was cast as a squirrel in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Hi everybody, welcome back to another one of my videos. I bet you can all guess where we're going. Yes, you're right, Waxhaw, North Carolina. This video is going to be about the phone interview and the New York audition, the character audition, but I wanted to do it now because we're in North Carolina, and what better place to do it than North Carolina? This is Julian, my boyfriend, and we are currently here because I wanted to see a vet school, NC State, and he came here for Duke, for Duke Law, so we're just seeing some grad schools, and now we're going to visit my cousins who live in Waxhaw. But I just wanted to show you these cows. So I'm applying for veterinary medicine. This is my first visit, but do you see these cows? There's cows everywhere. And there's a barn over there. And I'm so happy because this is my first college tour for grad school. Oh, it's still kind of zoomed in. There we go. Are you coming? Yeah. And I can't wait. And we're going to visit Duke Law next for Julian. But we came all the way from New Jersey just for some cows. Just kidding. This is a beautiful law school. This is a beautiful vet school. I don't even know where I'm going to school. Do you want to say hi?
Sure. Hello.
Thank you. This is like my first actual walking vlog. I think I have to take this camera strap off because it's kind of annoying. But this is so cool. I'm probably going to go to vet school here if I get in. They only accept like 100 students. But I'm going to do I just wanted to start, this is just the start of the video because I'm going to do, like I said, the phone interview and the New York audition as soon as we get into the car on the way to Duke. So I wrote some questions down on my phone, some of the questions that my interviewer asked me. I don't remember them all because it was like so long ago that I forgot a lot of them, but I did write some of them down. So I'm just gonna talk about that first and then the audition next.
In half a mile, keep left to stay on I-85 South.
After you do the web-based interview, right, and you get a phone interview, they make you schedule the phone interview. They send you like a few emails and you schedule your phone interview. So I scheduled my phone interview for like 8 o'clock p.m.
Keep left to stay on I-85 South.
They tell you to be ready like 15 minutes before the phone call's supposed to come.
Continue on I-85 South for 70 miles.
15 minutes after the phone interview is supposed to call. So I was ready and I was like freaking out the whole time. I was really nervous. She called like 10 minutes after she was supposed to call, which was fine. But I had Casey was my interviewer. And so first they just ask you like some basic questions, like they ask you to verify like your name and your address and like your email and stuff like that, and they just ask you to verify it. And after she asked the basic questions, the next thing she asked was if I was receptive to the Disney look and if I needed her to go over it with me. So I said I was receptive to it, and I already knew about Disney look, so I didn't have her go over it with me like anymore. I don't know what order this went in, but she definitely asked about my living situation and roommates and stuff like that. First she asked me if I'd ever lived with anyone, and I said yes, because freshman year of college and sophomore year of college freshman year I lived in a dorm and sophomore year I lived in an apartment, but both of those years I lived with other roommates that I knew one of them, but I didn't know the other ones coming in. So she asked me about that, and then she asked me if we ever encountered any problems and like how we resolved it. And we did have a problem freshman year with one of my roommates. We're like, it smells good.
There's a fire outside.
Oh, yum. But we had like a, oh yeah, I lost my train of thought. Oh, we had a problem freshman year, and it was kind of bad, but we worked it out. Oh, it smells good. It smells like the land in Disney. The land. When you come, you smell it, and then you'll tell me it smells like this, because it smells like firewood the whole time. She asked me about the jobs that I had, like in life, not at Disney, like not roles, jobs that I had. So first she asked like for me to name a few of the jobs that I had and to explain them for her. So I think I chose, I like can't really remember, but I'm pretty sure I talked about Starbucks, the zoo, and being a tour guide, because I thought those were like the best three. So I like talked about those. I just explained them, and like I explained like my roles, like my responsibilities at each of them, and the skills that I learned at each of them. That was like really an easy question. And then she asked me if I ever had a time where I had an upset customer. She said like, oh, I know you worked at Starbucks, so tell me a time that you had an upset customer at Starbucks and how did you resolve it? So I was telling her about this like one time where someone was upset because I couldn't like put butter on their bagels, because we're not allowed to like take any kind of condiment out and put it on for the customers, but she was like yelling at me because the butter was too hard. Like it came out of the fridge and the butter was too hard, and she was yelling at me and saying that I needed to put the butter on her bagel, or like, can I put the butter in the microwave? But we can't, because that is it's a food hazard. Like we're not allowed to do that. That's like against the health code of Starbucks. But I told her about that, and there's been so many times where we've had customer problems at Starbucks. Like it was so easy to think of one. I think she asked me like one or two more questions about that, but it was really quick and really easy because I think she wanted to get onto the Disney stuff. So then she asked me, I think she said, what are your top 3 roles? And I said attractions, character performer, and Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique. Those were my top 3. So I didn't get any of those 3, but that's okay, because merchandise was in my high interest roles too. So, but she asked me questions about those. She asked me scenario questions, mostly with attractions, and she asked me like how, if a child was in line for a ride but they were too short to get on and they were like crying, what would you do? So I had to like respond to that. Oh, she asked me how do I feel speaking in front of large groups, because in attractions you have to sometimes like talk in front of large groups. And she said like, I know you're probably fine with this since you're a tour guide, but how would you feel speaking in front of large groups? And I said I'd be fine with it. She asked how many people I usually speak in front of. So I said it can range from like an individual tour, which is like 2 people, to like an 80 person tour. So it really ranges. Oh my god. No. Alright, we'll be back after these sun messages. Alright, so I'm gonna try and keep going before the sun comes out again. Before she asked me all this, she asked me how I think that the Disney college program will benefit me in the long run. This one took me like a little longer to answer, because like I had prepared for a long time for this interview, and I did mock interviews, but that one I was not ready for. And they actually didn't even ask me why I wanted to do the Disney college program, so that was one that I was expecting and I actually didn't get. So that was surprising for me. I thought that was going to be like one of the first questions that they asked, but they actually didn't ask me that at all. You should be ready for it anyway, but because that's like a typical question that they'll ask, but I'm surprised that they didn't ask me. So maybe they are phasing that out. I don't know, Disney is unpredictable. And she told me like, you know, for character performer you have to attend an audition, and she was like, do you know when the next audition is near you? And I said yes, because I knew that there's one in New York on September 29th, I think it is. She asked me what character integrity means to me. So I went on this like long spiel about how like I don't even like to know who's working as the characters. Like I just want to see them as the characters. Like I love Winnie the Pooh, and I just want to see him as Winnie the Pooh. I don't care who's in that. I just want to know that he's Winnie the Pooh, and that's who he is. Right, Julie? Yes. So I just know that he's Winnie the Pooh, and that's it. So that's why I said that I really like character integrity means a lot to me. So but then she asked me what 2 roles I thought that I was best suited for. So at that point I thought I was best suited for attractions and merchandise. So attractions because I had run some attractions before, and like the zoo, and not like big attractions, but I thought I was okay with speaking in front of people, and like I thought that'd be a good one for me. Plus I really wanted to do the Jungle Cruise. Because like I'm a tour guide, like that would be perfect. But anyway, whatever. I'm not gonna be doing that. But so the second one I said was merchandise, and I did merchandise because I worked at Starbucks, and I've handled money before, and I've handled like hard customers, so I think I can do merchandise. So that's why I put that one on there. So that's when she started asking me questions about merchandise. She said, you'll have to trade pins with guests. Will you be comfortable with them touching your lanyard? And I said yes, because I've never traded pins before, but I know that Disney gives you their own set of pins, so you don't have to trade your own pins. So I was really happy about that. And yes, I will trade pins, and I don't care if kids grab at my lanyard. Like, it's Disney, everyone's happy. Another question that she asked me was, if the phone is ringing, you are checking a person out, and someone in the store needs help with an item, what do you do first, second, and last? I don't remember exactly what I said, but it flowed when I said it. And I was expecting that question. I had actually prepared for that one. So I had it all written down in front of me, like laid out, and I wrote how I was going to answer each question. So I knew how I was going to answer that one. So however I did, I guess I did it right because I got in. So they asked me if I'd rather work independently or in a group or in a slower, fast-paced environment. So I said that I didn't mind working in a slower, fast-paced environment, and I can work in a group or by myself also. Then she asked me at the end of the phone interview if I had any questions for her, and I did have a few. I asked her about roommates and stuff and how the roommate situation worked, and I also asked her if she did the Disney College program and what her experience was. She actually hadn't done the Disney College program, but she said she was like pushing her kids to do it, so I thought that was really funny. But I know that it's really important that you definitely ask them questions to show you're interested in their life. So I would recommend asking a few questions at the end of the interview. I always do that when I apply for a job. I always ask the interviewer questions about their life at the end. That was pretty much the phone interview. I didn't think it was too bad. Mine lasted about 19 minutes. I know they say like that you should set aside like 15 to 20 minutes for the interview. So then I'm going to talk about the character performer audition, which Julian was there for, right, Julian? Okay, so that was in New York City. So I believe the time that the audition starts is 10 a.m. They say not to get there earlier than like 9:30 or like 9 o'clock, but I got there an hour early and I went in and I sat down. So you can go in early. I guess they just don't want you to wait that long, but I did go in like an hour early. I met this girl in a group me chat, and she said she was from New Jersey taking the train to go to the audition. So I was like, oh, we should meet up and go there together. So she was like, yeah, that'd be great. So it's like a lot of people from that group me went to like a Starbucks that was nearby, but instead of doing that, we just went straight into the oh my god, I forget the name of the studio, but oh my gosh, I forget. It was like the name of a jewel or something. I don't remember. Okay, anyway, we went straight into the studio, up to the floor that we were supposed to go to, and we sat in the dance studio. So, Pearl Studios. It was called Pearl Studios. So we went there, and my mom, my sister, and Julian had come, and they like left, and we waited for like half hour before other people showed up. There was already 2 girls in there, and then we got there, and then a few people like trickled in after, so we started talking to them. We were like making friends, which was good. Once it turned like 10 o'clock, the room was completely full. It was like spilling out of the door, and there were so many people there. We like pushed our way out because we were the first ones there, so we wanted like the first numbers. But we pushed our way out, and we got I think I was number like 14 or 13 or something like that. So we were really early in the group. We got into the first room, and the first thing that they had us do was stand in lines. So I was in the front line, like right in front of the mirror. So they had us stand in the lines, and she just like taught us like a few things. Like she said, all right, everyone do like this like march real quick, and everyone like wave your hands in the air, and everyone she's like, everyone do this animation. Like we're gonna do an animation, like pretend like you're on a parade float, and the only thing you can't be is princess. You can't be a princess because everyone can be a princess. So she's like, make sure you pretend like you're a fur character or something. So I did that, and like we were all in the front, and I thought it was fine. Like I didn't think it was too hard, and the dance wasn't too hard. I definitely think it would be better. It was just like a parade march, so I know it was fine, but like I thought I was coordinated. Like I thought I was coordinated, but I just didn't like get it that fast. Like we did it like twice, and then we had to do it to show the the dance instructor, like or the director. We were showing like I can't think of the word right now. We were showing the person who was pretty much making cuts. So we like all lined up. They put on the parade music, and they were like, all right, you're gonna go down in lines. You have to do a walking parade. You have to do it 3 times. Like, you would start by doing an animation. So for the first like 10 seconds or 20 seconds, you did an animation like you were on top of a parade float. And then they would say go, and you would start like marching forward, and you would do 3 counts of that 8 count dance, the march that they had us do. I think it was 4 8 counts that the dance was 4 8 counts. So I mean, it wasn't long, it wasn't too difficult, but I guess I'm just not coordinated. I thought I did it fine. But like after you march, you pretty much watch everyone go, because you're just like standing behind them. So you're watching everyone go, and like I said, we were the first room to do it, so I was the first group. Like it was like 10 a.m. we started, and like we were going. After everyone marches, you sit in the room, everyone like gathers around, and you just wait for them to make cuts. So we like waited for like 10 minutes. It wasn't really long, but then they start calling out numbers, and they're like, all right, if we don't call your number, like thank you for coming, not everyone gets in, like everything to make you feel better about like getting sent home. And I got sent home. Boo. Boo. So I got sent home in the first cut. And like I heard that even if you make it like even if you make it to the second round, they're still considering you for a character performer. I didn't even make it past the first round. It was so sad. I was really sad, but I was like proud of myself for going out and trying. And so then I like went downstairs, and I called my mom. I was like, Mom, like I got cut the first round. She's like, we're in Central Park. We're 45 minutes away of a walk. We thought you were gonna be there longer. And I was like, no, I thought I was gonna be there longer too. And I brought like my ears, like my Disney ears, and I was like walking around. I thought I was ready, and then I wasn't ready, Julian. And then I got cut. And it was so sad, but you know what? If you go to an audition, props to you, because those things are tough, okay? And I know, like, I heard some people, like my friend who made it to the next round was like telling me some things that like you had to do for the second part, and like I don't think I would have been able to do it. So like I mean, I would have done it because like I'm all for Disney, but like I know it probably would have been harder. She's like, it was a harder dance. Like you kind of, and everyone was walking, by the way, everyone was coming in with like these dance shoes on and like all this stuff, like they were dancers and stuff, or they'd done like a musical or something. And I have never in my life danced or done a musical. I auditioned for a musical one time, and I got in, and I was cast as a squirrel in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. But I never have done a musical ever in my life. Like, I don't know how to dance. I couldn't like put the music in it would have taken me more than 2 like practices to get that dance out. Now I can do the dance. I like do it all the time for my mom. Like, Mom, do you want to see the Disney dance? Because I can do the parade dance now. I can do it. They just need to give me more time. I only had like a minute to prepare this dance. But anyway, I did get cut first, and that was great. But it was an experience, and I'm so glad I did it. And yay, I auditioned for Disney once. By the way, at this point, I did know. I just found out like I think it was like 4 days before my New York interview, I found out that I got into the program. So I guess a lot of people don't even know if they're in the program once they do the audition, but I knew that I was in for merchandise. So going into the audition, I was like, oh, like even if I don't do well in this, like I still got into the program. I'm gonna go there for merchandise, so it doesn't matter if I'm a character performer or merchandise. So I'm just proud of myself for doing it, right, Jules? Yep. So thank you guys for watching. I hope this helped you out. I hope that you all decide to go do a character performer audition, because it's so much fun, and it's definitely worth your time if you want to do it. So thank you for watching. If you have any questions about the phone interview or the character performer auditions, I'd be happy to answer anything that you have. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Yay, North Carolina! This camera is so clear! And I'll see you in the next video when we're going to Disney. Bye!